What does politics have to do with faith? Because both can corrupt each other. Both are intimately entwined in the worst atrocities, especially in the 20th century. You can't fully understand one without the other. Both Hitler and Lenin used the churches to indoctrinate communities with their beliefs. The belief that they were compassionate and only wanting the best for their country. How's politics and religion not related? You tell me. Stop preaching, man. The guy just asked a practical question. You ain't a Messiah. Faith applies to all religions. LOL doesn't even address the question. Move on. And BTW communism always introduces itself as uniting all faiths only until it can gather data on everybody and use it to starve the shit out of people and take all the wealth and consolidate it to a small group. The original question is simply about how Christianity made it to Korea. You think you can focus on helping with that?
Practical my ass. He questioned my integrity. You stated that I'm no messianic presence, and yet, my statement being plain and simple, it's called faith for a reason. I'm far from religious. I'll never be a zealot. Don't question a person's character. Don't insult my integrity and follow that bandwagon. Laugh at Shasterisk. You couldn't possibly understand the way your mind is thinking. Go buy more Nike and STFU, you following tool. My opinion remains, you ignorant fool.
Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive in the latest in TV news and reviews. I'm your host, Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and Zen-like husband, Stairmaster.
Hey, I'm going to stop you right now before you spiral. Let's focus on the positive and not terrible TV shows we've watched today, okay?
Today?
Yeah, look at, isn't the weather nice?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of dark.
Oh, well, it's nighttime, Swanson.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the weather can be nice at nighttime.
At dark.
It's dark o'clock.
You gotta understand, sun goes up, sun goes dark.
It's true. With us, as always, of course, is my other co-host and brother who's really into cryptocurrency, Kiorein.
I'm in the middle of a game.
Whoa, hey buddy, I'm just trying to talk to you real quick.
I'm in the middle of a game.
Listen, I'm in the
middle of a game.
Hey, I'm just saying, we could have a conversation like the old times.
In the before times.
No, I don't think so.
Well, I guess that's the podcast then.
Hey, there are guys on me.
Oh, hey.
That's something gamers say.
The gamers do like to say things like that. Things that can be interpreted in different kinds of ways.
It's true.
Yeah, a lot of gamers say stuff like, I got all this shit on me or something, right?
I got all these guys, all this stuff in me.
I'm being absolutely stuffed by these guys in this video game.
These guys are stuffing me. In this game I'm playing, Striking Vipers. Welcome to another exciting edition of TV Tuners. If you're still listening to the pod, congratulations.
You win.
You are not filtered.
We're here for another round, as it were. We're talking about all things TV, and before we get into the nitty gritty of what we watched this week, if you have any quips, comments, questions, foresights, or otherwise, if any of those come across your mind while you're listening, well, what you can do is you can go over and send them to us at our email address. We'll read them here on the podcast.
Email.
That's right, Kiorein. You have an email address.
How come I'm not right? Bitch.
You're okay, I guess. You did it all right. You're sort of just copying.
Tell me more about this
did,
email. That sounds like antiquated.
What would you prefer?
Like nowadays,
Like a blockchain.
I use a blockchain. We could have like properly verified messages on the ledger.
Yeah, that does sound pretty good. Screw this whole email thing. Let's start doing that.
Yeah, so get on the coin space or whatever.
But until we get it all set up, of course, the email address is tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. What's that email, Kiorein?
tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com.
That's right. You can be like Gio, who sent us this email. For Kush Nugs, Kio. Fellas, fun fact. No Time to Die is called No Time to Die and not No Time to Kush, because there's always time to roll that shit, light that shit, and smoke it. Have a good show, Gio.
Okay.
I thought he was going to say no time to high.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Because that's what you do with Kush.
No time to high, yeah. That's good.
I don't think it's good at all.
Let's work on some other ones. Let's get some other ones on here. No time to fly? I don't know.
What if instead of GoldenEye, it was Pink Eye?
Wait, is Gio just teaching us?
Yeah, he's just letting us know.
Are we getting a lesson from Gio about how the world works?
Every day we're learning something, Kio.
It's true.
Oh, what'd you learn today? See, there's a saying that says you learn something new every day, but that's not true.
Oh. Does it count as learning something if I already heard about it before?
No, you can't learn something you already know. That's not how learning
works. What
works.
if I forgot it, and then years later I was reminded of it?
I think that's remembering.
And now, okay.
That's just being reminded. Yeah, I forget more things than I learn. I don't even know how to talk anymore.
I learned that the world's largest candy shop is on Navy Pier in Chicago. I learned that today.
Is this largest shop by square feet or largest shop by
they did not
volume
say.
Of?
Is that why you came in here with these blueprints to the store?
Fellas, this is it. After this, we won't have to pull a single more job.
We're planning a heist on the podcast today.
Yes.
A real world
Those
location.
jawbreakers will be ours.
It's true. I mean, if there's no better place to plan a heist than on the podcast, it's when we all get together, and it's also not listened to by many people, so it's very unlikely that anyone will know we're up to something.
It's true.
We have 10 listeners. All 10 of them are feds.
Dang. I figured at least one was, but I'm not going to say.
Oh, no, I don't.
Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Also,
I was going to say Gio.
What do you guys think of this? High Fall.
Okay, that's good. How about, I didn't actually have one.
The man with the golden blunt?
Oh, that is good. In Her Majesty's Secret Stash.
Okay, yeah, see? Yeah. There's something there. I'm sure Keo has one.
No, I don't have one. Agent C21 H3002.
What? Okay.
Real ones get that one, yeah.
I don't.
That's the chemical formula for THC.
Oh!
It's a joke for the true fans there.
True warriors.
Anyway, thank you for that. Thank you for that lesson.
License
Gio.
to Blaze.
Oh, there we go.
I'm sorry, everyone.
The toque is not enough.
Oh, that is good. Or the bowl is not enough.
There you go. Yeah.
What are we doing today?
Yeah, what are we doing?
I don't know. Geo gave us a nice little lesson on on.
I mean, he taught us the lesson, but we don't need to think about it any further than.
So, what's the new James Bond going to be called?
I don't know. Probably like This Bond's Gay.
Oh. No Time to Suck.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bond. There's simply no time to suck.
No Time to Top.
There you go. Yeah, that's perfect. I'm picturing gay James Bond going into like a club and he's talking to a man. He's like, I'd like to be shaken, not stirred. Anyway, thanks, Gio. So now, of course...
Thanks for teaching us about how the world works.
Now, of course, is an important segment near and dear to everybody's hearts. What did you guys watch this week? Anything fun, interesting?
I watched Shutter Island.
Ooh, Scorsese.
With Michael Mann as the producer.
Oh, huh. Good on them.
So I have to ask you, Swanson, are you enjoying God's great gift?
Is that life?
No.
Oh.
Violence.
Oh, am I enjoying violence? I don't know if I've...
Think about it.
Perpetrated
It's in everything. Why would God make it if he didn't love it so much?
I mean, there's a point there. I remember watching Shutter Island when I was a teenager and my little baby brain being like, I don't get this. Like turning it off.
And now you're like, oh, this is too real.
Well, I haven't rewatched it, but I'm probably due.
Yeah. You're obligated. And by obligated, I mean at gun pointed.
Oh. All right. I mean, you can. You
okay, it's not actually. I don't know. I feel like maybe on rewatch it doesn't hold up, but since you haven't seen it since you grew a brain, it might be fine.
Right. Yes, since my appreciation for storytelling improved.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what? You didn't understand the ending?
I don't think I made it that far. Like, I don't think I finished the movie.
Oh, okay. Understandable. I didn't finish the TV show this week.
It's true. But what were your takeaways from this film, Star?
I think that it's better to live as a monster than to die a good man. That's my thoughts.
Ooh. Okay. Interesting.
Also, I watched The Aviator.
Another Scorsese. Another one also
with Leonardo
involving
DiCaprio.
Oh, are there planes in that? Planes in that?
There's some bad CGI planes.
Oh no.
But there's also Willem Dafoe for one scene.
Okay.
What does he do?
He's like, I got some pictures of your ex.
Oh, didn't have pictures of a plane?
And DiCaprio is like, no.
Yeah, and he looks at him and it's a picture of a lighthouse. And he's just very confused.
Yeah. Ironically, Dafoe was not in Shutter Island, which features a lighthouse extensively.
Oh, but he would have been perfect.
In its plot. Yeah, and the last shot of the movie is a lighthouse. Spoilers.
Oh, dang.
It's good. Have you not seen The Aviator?
Nope.
Wow.
What can
I think it's perfect, as a biopic. Even though it ends 30 years before he dies.
Yeah, those last 30 years they were sort of unimportant. Didn't really do much.
But the last scene is like, oh, you understand, he's in hell. You understand, even though he did beat the man, he hasn't won anything.
He did, yeah. He has 30 years of life left, so I'm sure he's doing fine.
I'm sure he'd not get spit it all in one room.
Yeah.
Peeing in milk bottles.
No, he's probably fine. He's probably doing okay.
No, I looked it up on Wikipedia. Apparently he couldn't wear clothing because his nervous system got wrecked by that plane crash he was in. And it just caused him pain, the sensation of wearing clothing.
So he was just...
Even though it wasn't actually harming him in any way.
He was just naked for the rest of his life?
Yeah. Most of the time.
Listen, you know...
Oh, yeah, no.
That's what...
You didn't know that?
That's what life... You know, that's what God intended.
It's a great gift.
Nudity.
Oh, I thought we were... Okay.
The Lord is a beautiful man.
A beautiful nude man.
Well, that goes without saying.
It's in the Bible.
It is in the Bible.
I think that's all I watched.
Okay. Let's see. I finished it a little bit ago, but I don't think I've talked about it yet. I watched season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Why?
Uh-oh.
It was all right.
Why?
Because unlike Book of Boba Fett, The Mandalorian was still like at least a character that I was interested in. It was all right.
No, I know. She said you said was interested in.
Well, this season wasn't really about The Mandalorian. It was more about just Mandalorians in general.
Oh yeah, because Pedro Pascal wanted more money.
No, he was busy doing other things.
Sure.
They did have to start crediting the people who are actually in the suit because they gave more screen time than Pedro Pascal does in this latest season. He doesn't take his helmet off once, so I don't think he was ever actually on set. But it was all right.
Living the dream.
It definitely seems like it wanted to try some things that are very outside of the comfort zone of The Mandalorian in terms of like storytelling, and I don't know if it necessarily pulled them all off, but it was okay. Giancarlo Esposito does come back.
I thought they killed him.
No, he didn't die. He was just arrested.
Oh. Why?
Because the New Republic are essentially like centrists, which is something that the show does explore, and I kind of enjoy.
Oh, but why can't the Mandalorian like blow him up with a rocket or something?
Spoilers. He does.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, they it's interesting. It kind of ends with like this could be the end of this story, but it won't be because I know how Disney works. Need to sell some more of those Baby Yoda stuff. What do you think? These Baby Yodas are growing on trees?
So Kylo Ren's gonna kill Baby Yoda, right? Since that's how the sequel trilogy has to happen.
Well, if you remember, Stair, when I discussed the Book of Boba Fett, which has a middle chapter that reunites Baby Yoda and Mando, and then is briefly brought up in this third season, despite it being what arguably a crucial element of the story being told, that was just thrown into another show. Baby Yoda left the Jedi Order and is now a Mandalorian.
Oh, okay. Whatever. I don't care anymore. I hope I die.
There's a lot of Carl Weathers. That's fun. But yeah, overall it was okay. Listen, nothing can compare to Andor at this point. I think Star Wars is going to have that problem going forward where it's just... Andor raised the bar so high that I don't think anything else can reach it. Let's see, what else did I watch? Oh, I watched a movie.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. It's called Confess Fletch. And it...
Oh, I didn't watch that movie.
I didn't watch it either. I don't think I ever will.
Even not hearing what Swanson has to say about it.
And that's the movie.
Oh, I'm just getting... I'm going off the vibes that you're putting out, Keo.
Oh, by Keo saying he hasn't watched it, it means, oh, okay, I don't need to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, the fact that I haven't watched it yet means that I do not intend to ever watch it, yes.
And Keo, of course, also hasn't watched The Aviator, right?
Oh, I watched The Aviator. It has airplanes.
It's true, it does.
Oh, now I guess I need to watch it. Dang. Confess Fletch does not have Chevy Chase in it, thank God. But instead has John Hamm as the role of Fletch, which Chevy Chase did in some movies that I don't remember watching other than on cable.
Well, what is the lore of Fletch?
I think Fletch was like a detective novel from the 70s, but he's like Fletch the character.
Oh, so it's like a Bosch situation.
Yes, but Fletch the character is like an investigative journalist who keeps getting involved in like weird cases. And he's also kind of a prick. That's like the whole gag, I guess.
Oh, so he's sort of like Bosch.
Yeah, except he's not a cop. In terms of Confess Fletch, John Hamm stumbles upon a murder at a house that he's renting, and he becomes the prime suspect. And so it's all about him trying to avoid police interrogation while also tracking down who might have actually committed the murder. Also, there's some other plots going on involving an art dealer and his and the eccentric artist daughter that he's involved with. It's fun. It's a fun little breezy detective story.
It's breezy. What's the runtime?
90 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
breezy. I guess you're right.
John Hamm's funny. The script's funny. It's got some good stuff in it. Tune in.
Yeah, I won't be watching it.
Yeah, you guys could be watching Shutter Island instead.
Yeah. I've already decided everything I'm going to watch.
Yeah, I mean, well...
I've reviewed the catalog and I've made my decisions.
You guys going to watch Shutter Island? Mean Girls?
Yes, correct. I'm gonna do
scary movie.
My rewatch of Mean Girls.
Okay, so Keo has watched Mean Girls, confirmed.
Jackass the movie, and The Last Temptation of Christ.
Yeah, I don't remember where or why I watched Mean Girls, but I have definitely watched it.
You mean?
Well, it was a very influential movie.
I mean, it was probably just on the TV or something, right?
Yeah, that too.
I don't think it was just on the TV. I don't do that.
If you're like sitting there and your mom is watching it, you're not going to be like, okay. Like if you're at your parents' house and your mom is like, all right, I'm watching this.
Okay, well, that's an extraordinary circumstance.
I'm kind of complex about watching movies in that format now. Like something like my child OCD has just become a trauma about that.
Watching a movie on the TV?
Yeah, well, watching part of a movie on the TV. Like that's not getting the fully intended experience.
Just turn it on.
You like to watch things properly?
Yes.
Properly?
Yeah, if the movie logo doesn't appear and then I have to sit through like a couple of like opening chords to a song, then it doesn't count.
You know what I hate is when I walk into it. I walk in and people are watching a movie that's halfway over, and I have to ask them every detail about the movie while I'm trying to watch it.
If I walk in and people are like watching a movie and it's already
who's
in progress, I promptly leave and I don't come back until the movie's done. But I stand by the window and wait, not looking at the movie, but at them.
No, you have to ask him like who's
window?
that guy? Like why is he doing that?
Well, yeah, most living rooms have a window, Stairmaster.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the movie theater.
Oh, well, some movie theaters should have windows. I think that's my new opinion.
To what? The outdoors?
Well, that would be extremely weird to do that at a movie. What you do at a movie is I have this app on my phone that can read web pages out for me in a robo voice. So what I do is if I'm late to the movie, what I do is I can just get the summary going. I just play that on my app, and like the guy will give me like the summary of the part of the movie I missed.
Look, I imagine Keo walking into like Guardians of the Galaxy.
John Wick.
Yeah, John Wick is escaping capture.
Wick escapes to Japan to solicit the help of his friend.
As he's just like, excuse me, thank you. With giant soda like a swimming pool of soda and a giant thing of popcorn. Popcorn just spilling into people's laps as Keo tries to get to his middle row seat in the middle of the. He has a seat in the middle row.
What?
Sorry.
He bought it.
Sorry.
He bought it a week in advance, but forgot the time.
And also that it's in the middle.
Sorry. What? Oh, my apologies. What are you gonna do?
Oh, so Keo, did you see John Wick?
Yeah, I haven't seen John Wick, even though you played it for me. I watched it.
I meant the new one.
John Wick 4.
Which is it? John Wick 4?
Yeah, he kills a lot of people in this one.
Let's see, John Wick Chapter 4. So
he kills like 200 people in this one. I think.
I would come in halfway into the movie, and then I'd turn my app on and it would say, in New York City, John Wick prepares an exact revenge against the High Table while hiding underground with the Bowery King. He
that's
travels
Lawrence
to Morocco
It's true.
and kills the Elder.
Yeah, this movie, it sounds so stupid when you say it like that, and it is stupid.
I went to see
actually.
John Wick 4 with my girlfriend, and every time Lawrence Fishburne showed up on screen, I was like, that's Lawrence Fishburne.
Why did you have to say that?
Because
Imagine
he's really excited.
Imagine Swanson's like, that's the Bowery King. Like, Swanson's the one person on the planet who really cares about John Wick lore.
That's the Bowery King. He runs the underground.
He's responsible for the thing that happened to John Wick that was really bad.
All the hobos swear fealty to him.
That's the TikTok man, but he's not here in this one.
All right.
Anyway.
So yeah, that's what we watched, unless Keo saw something.
Well, I did see something, but it wasn't like media.
What, did you see a corpse?
No, I didn't see a corpse. Whoa.
That's pretty wild, though. I didn't see anything. It's not like media, but it was a body.
Yeah,
I mean,
I did see a murder, but
I mean, movies have the ability to change your life. Why not seeing a murder?
Okay, so you saw a murder.
Yeah,
Who got murdered?
I don't know, some guy. I was kind of busy.
I don't know. All I know is there was a guy in blue saying "Stop resisting" over and over.
Yeah, I was on the go, so
We were like, "Oh, that looks bad."
Yeah, was on that grind set,
and you kept going.
Yeah, I'm on the Sigma grind set.
Oh, okay. You would refer to yourself as a Sigma male?
Yeah, I'm a Sigma male. Ligma male.
Oh, okay. Ligma what?
What
Ligma
is a Ligma
male.
male? And is it superior to an alpha male?
All right. Well, with all that out of the way, of course, there's one last thing to discuss before we move on to our main topic here.
Wait, I have one more thing about this previous topic. Are there any male tier lists out there that I can watch? Stairmaster that you've produced?
Male what?
Tier lists.
Oh, okay. Well, I think Willem Dafoe would be at the top of the list.
Yeah.
Like he's a type of male, or?
Oh no, I thought you meant me. I thought you meant me like making a tier list for all dudes.
But also, yes, he is a type of male. It's just one person.
Well, yes, absolutely.
Is that an achievable type of male?
It's sort of like achieving enlightenment.
Yes, yeah. Only in death can you become like Willem Dafoe.
Oh well, I don't think that's true.
If you live,
Maybe.
if you live well enough.
Did the Buddha die to become enlightened? I thought he just popped out of reality.
I mean, in a way, isn't that just sort of death?
Yeah, that's that. I would say that is being dead. Yes.
Okay, true.
Anyway, I have some news. Well, just one, and now we're going to talk about that news.
Oh, you have news?
That's right. News items.
What happened?
Coming up.
Yeah, well, tell me about Swanson. Tell me about
After
it.
14 seasons on the air, Archer is finally coming to an end. That's right, the popular super spy adventures of Sterling Archer and his gang of weirdos is finally ending in the upcoming season. Yeah, just absolute freaks. With season 14. This comes, of course, on the heels of the death of Jessica Walters, who played Archer's mother.
Oh.
Yeah, I would have thought they would just stop at that point, not make another season. But,
I guess they made 2 after she passed away. The 13 and 14, I guess. But anyway, this is going to be the final season here. They're ending it all. And what I learned when I mentioned this news story is that this is actually... The topic of Archer is a topic that actually Keo seems to have the most information on, and that he watched the most of it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Expert in field.
Yeah, I'm trusted source in field on seasons 1 through 10.
I mean, that's the majority of it. There's more than Stair and I watched.
Yeah. I may or may not have watched season 11. It's not clear.
No, in season
is he still
in a
episode
coma in season 11?
I don't know. I think he's out of the coma in season 11, maybe.
Okay.
I think the last thing I saw was the one with Patrick Warburton.
What was he doing?
I don't know. He was a guy.
Hey, Archer, I'm a spy. Remember that time I was on another show?
I honestly don't remember Patrick Warburton at all, but...
Yeah, it's a very memorable voice.
Patrick Warburton is also a type of guy.
Yes. I mean, you would remember Patrick Warburton saying like a classic Archer line like, sploosh, or something.
That's not even a line, this is a word.
I have no recollection of that happening.
Maybe he was never in the show. Maybe I just dreamed this.
Did they say, well, that just happened in Archer?
I hope not. I don't think so.
I think only ironically, probably.
I don't want to.
I could definitely imagine them saying that in Archer, honestly.
Like Patrick Warburton walking in and saying, just the tip.
That was a good one. Remember when life used to be enjoyable?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I watched right up to when he got in a coma, maybe. So a decent chunk of Archer as well. But you watched all of these coma seasons, evidently, Keo.
Yeah, did the coma make you quit? Coma made you quit, Swanson?
I think I just got bored. I don't even know if I watched the first coma season. I think it's like a detective thing. I don't think I watched that much at all.
I don't think I watched that either.
It was a fun little season.
Oh, it's a fun.
It was like, hey, we're out of ideas for the regular show. Let's just do something else.
I mean, we can all agree that the best season is when they're selling cocaine.
Can we?
Isn't?
I don't even remember.
With that's like my. I feel like it's regarded as the best.
That was a good season. That was fun. Yeah, it was. I enjoyed that show. Even in the later seasons, I still liked it. It was just like, I don't know. They're in space now, I guess, because he's in the coma. That was fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those shows that
it's a lot better than when shows run out of ideas, but they just keep making the show
instead of just doing something out of off the wall.
Right. It's just like, we're out of ideas, but let's try to keep the same show going that we were doing before.
Like at this point, NCIS should have like they're in like a fantasy island sequence where they're like on a deserted island or something, and they're solving naval crimes.
Right. Exactly. Right. But they won't do that. They have a formula, so
right.
I definitely prefer that to what Archer did with just like making the show something completely different versus just trying to make the same show again but just worse.
The creator, fun fact I just read about, the creator of Archer actually did leave after the 10th season, so I guess you and him both picked the same time to leave, Kyo.
Yeah, perfect time to leave, right?
It also seems to be the time when they went back to doing just spy stuff, so maybe that was a pattern. Anyway, the final season of Archer
is Patrick Warburton ever in the program?
I don't know anymore. I don't care.
Maybe he showed up in like one of the Coma seasons instead. It's just like he watched one random episode.
I don't know. Like my memories of this show are actually pretty vague since I think I watched most of it in like a day.
Oh, so Kyo was depression watching all of these?
I think old people just have trouble remembering things.
Are you classifying yourself as an old person?
I'm us.
Oh, I looked it up and I remember this character. I just did not know he was voiced by Patrick Warburton.
History has vindicated me.
Who's this legendary character from Archer?
Char Aznable.
Oh, okay.
His name is Rip Riley.
That's okay, I guess.
Oh, I think I've heard of that before. I don't know.
I don't care. Anyway, so that's Archer. He's all spied out.
Yeah, he killed himself in the last season.
Oh! Oh no!
Who, Archer?
Yeah.
This next season actually doesn't have any Archer in it. He killed himself and now it's just over.
Yeah. Exactly.
Anyway, yeah, that's it for that. For the news.
The end.
That's it for the news. So now it's time for our main event. We watched a show, and now we're going to talk about it.
Oh yeah, we did.
Beef follows two people, Amy and Danny, after a near accident in a parking lot turns them from strangers into enemies. Their tit-for-tat relationship develops into escalating acts of revenge as they learn about each other's identities and families and become more and more involved in each other's lives. Did Beef give you the goods, or did it leave you hungry?
Well, we know where the beef is, I guess.
Yeah, where is it?
Oh, it's in the opening scene. I should say sequence?
Yes, I suppose, yeah.
Where this guy goes on a road rage incident for being honked at for too long.
Yes, pretty much.
Am I supposed to empathize with this?
I think you're supposed to be like, why did it get to this point between these two people?
You're supposed to get the impression that these people are
It's not well adjusted.
It's pretty much a wrap for these people.
Where you have to put them in the ground. They're going away.
It's also important to note that while the situation is escalated first by Steven Yeun's character, it does go sort of both. It does get escalated in both manners. So, like, it doesn't end well for anybody in this particular road rage incident. Although they never see each other's faces.
No, I think she was justified in throwing that cup at him.
Well, at that point, sure. But was she justified in flicking him off as she left?
Well, from her perspective, she thought he cut him off. And that's not a reason to chase someone down the street.
It's definitely not a reason to chase somebody down, although it was extreme. He didn't really cut her off. He just didn't see her as he backed out of his parking space. So,
right.
Definitely was a bit of a rude, discourteous act there to flip him off.
Yeah, it definitely goes. I mean, I don't know. The actual chase is like a lot of it is more of like, what are these? What's going to happen here? Who's going to get murdered? And no one does, although it comes close, evidently. But he gets her license plate, and for most of this episode, he thinks it's a guy that he was road raging with.
He makes an assumption,
right? He assumes that only men can do this, but it turns out upper class women can too.
Yeah, women can drive cars as well. It turns out.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia did not want us to know this.
It's true. They actually asked Netflix to take this down and re-edit it so that actually Ali Wong's character is just a man. But they did not. As of right now, they did not.
They're working on the edit.
Yeah. But the first episode is of a slow approach, which I could understand why it might not work super well for. Okay, I will also say it's not particularly funny in this first episode. There are some bits that were pretty okay, but like overall, it's definitely more focused on explaining why these people are in this situation that they're in, why they've gotten to a point where they are so filled with rage.
If you hadn't told me this was a comedy, I would have had no clue.
Yeah, I'm going to reveal here that while Stair barely finished the first episode, I watched the second, and the second is much funnier.
Yeah, this is like less of a comedy than like Breaking Bad.
Yeah, you should have done something funny instead of this road rage. This very dry road rage.
Was it dry? I think an almost accident isn't necessarily... Like a dry road rage is probably just like honking at people.
I would say it's not sensational, I guess. Like, there are scenes in Breaking Bad where Walter White is driving his car very fast that are more exciting than this, and that show doesn't have, like, car chases and
You're
stuff.
saying one of them should have run over two people.
Yeah, it could have at least been shot better. I think something wacky should have happened. You know,
this was very grounded. It was like played entirely straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that adds to the tension of it, where because it's played straight and not wacky, you are sort of concerned about where it could go because it feels more grounded.
Yeah, it was a legitimately tense scene.
Yeah, I don't know if we should have the stakes be potential murder in a comedy called Beef.
Well, that's I don't know. I mean, it does sort of. I don't know how you raise. I mean, it is odd to go from the stakes being potential murder to revenge at the end, but that's the way this show went.
I mean,
I guess.
That's the way it went because our main character here, or at least our male protagonist, I don't know if you call him the main character, is
Boy.
Yeah, he was like, "Wow, it's not a man. I guess I won't like violently attack this person.
I won't murder him with a hammer."
Yeah, he essentially goes
like Russell Crowe.
After we get like a lot of sort of look into both of these people's interior lives, he eventually, after trying to commit grill-assisted suicide, decides that he's going to just hunt down this person.
Yeah, he was ready to commit a murder, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, murder of himself.
He didn't
first.
say that. Yeah, I mean, he was like, "I'm going to beat this guy up," but come on, he was there to kill him.
Yeah, and he like goes over there, and they have like a whole. This is like the crux of the episode, essentially, which is that they have this whole meeting where they're actually like sort of relating to one another briefly. And then he realizes that she's the one who cut him off, or caused the whole road rage incident, I guess. And he decides that the best course of action is he's not going to beat up a woman or anything, so he's going to just piss all over her bathroom. And then abruptly leaves, leading to her suspicion, and she chases him away. As he like,
why did he do that?
Yeah,
it's not like his truck was damaged or anything in the road rage. He just had a bad time.
Yeah, but he's very... I think he's more hung up on the fact that this person, got away with it. Because if you listen to... I don't know how far you made it, Stair, but when he's describing the incident to other people, he's always describing it in a way where he sounds like he came out on top of it. Where he's like, yeah, it's a good thing I didn't see that person, true. Though. I would have kicked their ass.
And then the guy goes back into his wife and they talk about how annoying he is.
Yes. Through the speaker that he can hear. Later they do just actually fire him via the speaker. But yeah, we're sort of jumping all over the place mainly because the show takes a very slow approach to sort of dishing out why their lives stink. But in the long and short of it, Amy, the female protagonist, she runs an art business. Is that what this is? I really can't tell what her business is, but
I thought she was like she was a flowery king.
Yeah, I guess that's it. I guess that's what it is. She's a florist. But she's trying to get it sold, and she's clearly dealing with some sort of stress built up from the fact that she has to do most of the work because it seems like her husband's a stay-at-home dad type of deal. Her husband's dad is some sort of artist, some famous artist.
Yeah, he's a bottom tier husband, I gotta tell you.
I mean, listen, when your wife comes home and she's telling you about your stress, you should not interrupt her and say, "Think about positivity." Fellas, this is just a tip.
Wasn't even
don't talk about gratitude journals.
She wasn't even being negative, though. That's the thing. It wasn't like she was like stewing in some negativity. She was just literally expressing how her day went. He was like,
"Oh, he was ruining. No. She was ruining his vibes."
Right? Yeah, you can't have that.
He needs to have positive vibes 24/7. You think the dad's the one close to the breakdown? He's just
having watched the second episode. They're all gonna
piss on the floor.
Having watched the second episode, I think maybe there's something hidden beneath the surface with that dad, but we don't really get that. There's also a hint in the second episode that part of her frustration is that because the dad stays at home, the daughter is more attached to him than her.
Mm-hmm. And also there is the mother-in-law,
yeah,
who's incredibly toxic.
Yes, and what we learn in the second episode is that she actually has all of the fortune that the dad left. The dad just left his son with a bunch of tables and chairs that he made. But yeah, he we get a lot of that from a lot of stress built up from that, and then Danny's life is sort of just a different sort of miserable. I don't know if they're really comparable or if they're supposed to be comparable, but he has like a different sort of existence.
He's a broke boy. That's way worse.
Yeah, regardless of what Amy is going through, she does at least have a house and a family. Something that Danny does bring. I don't know if he brings it up in this episode or the next one, but he does straight up say, I think to someone else, why is she even bothering with this? Because like she's better off than me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Danny's parents have been forced to go back to Korea after a police raid shut down their motel because his sketchy cousin Isaac was selling, as his brother, or as Isaac puts it later, counterfeit baby formula, among other things.
Apparently, they've got some pretty stringent regulations on what you can put in baby food and baby formula.
Yeah, he states later when he makes his appearance after getting out of jail, I guess, that he says, "Who knew you could Who knows you could counterfeit baby formula?" And it's a good question in theory, I suppose.
My man never heard of sawdust.
But since then, Danny has him and his brother have sort of been taking care of. Well, he's been taking care of his brother, who seems to be mainly focused on gaming and cryptocurrency.
Unrealistically, he has made massive gains.
Yes.
And by the way, that's actually not a joke. That's a real thing that people get in trouble for. Counterfeit baby formula.
Counterfeit baby formula. Okay. I mean, I'm sure that's true.
Maybe this should have been more of a ridiculous crime.
I will say the second episode involves more of Danny's brother, and he is a standout in terms of comedy. So there's that.
Maybe he should have been in the first episode more.
I mean, I get not involving him much because he's not doing much, but
him just being like I'm in a game. That's probably the funniest thing I saw.
It's very relatable. I too am on a game called Life.
That's crazy. That's deep.
Anyway, he's trying to take care of his brother while also running a landscaping business that's going nowhere. And in addition to all of that, he just can't return some fucking grills that he bought, man. He wants to return these grills, and this guy's giving him a hard time, and that's what caused this whole problem. Really, it was this guy at the hardware store who didn't want to return these grills.
Well, one of the grills fell out of his truck, so that's one less thing he has to worry about now.
It's true.
And he can't find the receipt. Receipt's missing.
Yeah, although he finds out later that it was just in the bag the whole time and he didn't look. In what we call a brutal bit of irony.
Yeah, that's what we call that in the writer's room where we go to.
Yeah, currently on strike.
We're on strike, yeah.
But yeah, also at a certain point before Danny shows up, Amy is masturbating with a gun, which just sort of happens in this episode. They explain it a bit more in the second one, but she just sort of does it. It just happens.
Yeah, the husband's like, I changed the safe code. And you know why.
Yeah, it makes you think at first that it's because, like, she's suicidal or she hasn't been in the past or whatever, but I guess it's just because she likes playing with the gun.
Who among us?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really, I'm really not sure. Who among us? This is what, this is America. This is what it's all about. Get a gun.
Who hasn't been turned on by hearing the sound of a gun click?
Right. Yeah. This is what it's all about, guys.
America.
It's America. It's America. If you wanna get aroused by a gun, you should be able to. But yeah, Danny comes along. The whole bit happens. He pisses in her bathroom, and then she finds out super quick and chases after him, and he runs away smiling, but she gets his plate number, and that's pretty much the end. But yeah, I mean, overall, what do we think about this show? We kind of sped through it a bit, so if you wanna expand some more, go ahead.
Oh,
Stairmaster gave up on it. He got upset.
I'm bored.
He's
upset.
Too many Asians.
Not enough laughs. Too depressing.
It was too realistic for Stair. He didn't want to be reminded of.
Would you say this was a sad boy show?
Yes.
At least for the first episode.
Everybody's getting dunked on in this show.
Yeah, I do think this show had some like severe sad boy energy for the first episode.
It's true.
And it also doesn't look very good either because it's Netflix.
I think it looks. I mean, I don't know. I think it looks all right for a Netflix show.
Yeah, the colors are a little flat, I think.
But
yeah, it's very, 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 very grounded there.
Yeah, in a way that I wasn't not. I don't know.
So yeah, that's a show.
I don't know if I was expecting it to be grounded or if it was to be like wackier. I don't know. I mean, I guess when I hear that it's a comedy and it involves a near accident that escalates, I expect it to like keep getting wackier. But
yeah,
it's possible that it does. But
I think that my expectations were kind of like a bit warped by being told this was a comedy.
Yeah, I was just expecting one of them to bump into the other.
Ooh, sorry, madam. And then he's like, "Fuck you," and it goes from there.
Yes.
I wanted like a wacky guy who talks like this.
So when I described it as a near accident in a parking lot, you thought they were going to bump into each other?
Why? Yeah. Why is it a near accident? Why not just have it be an accident?
Because then the police would be involved.
Oh, what are they gonna do besides?
Well, if it's an incident like what happens in the beginning, and then it becomes an accident, then the police show up, and it's like a whole. Well, yeah, you drove your car through this person's yard.
Oh well, no, I'm just saying. Okay.
I'm sure the police do eventually get involved in this show. I haven't looked at what happens, but that seems logical.
A hit and run in the parking lot.
Yeah.
I guess they would just call the police, though. Say, hey, they did a hit and run. The police would be like, I'll take care of it. And then they shoot.
Yeah, they track the person down and shoot them.
Yeah, what happened?
They would find the nearest African-American gentleman and...
Regardless of what details you gave about the person.
Yeah.
This is LA, after all.
Yeah, we'll take care of it.
Well, this is America.
Yeah, don't you worry about that. We've got it covered, sir.
It's like, I'm telling you, it was an Asian woman. Yeah, all right, we're finding a black male.
Suspect 6'5", African American,
Possibly armed.
I believe he was wearing
possibly
a hoodie.
armed, wearing hoodie, jeans,
Carrying Newports.
quite expensive sneakers.
Okay. So that's beef.
Yeah, are we tuning in or tuning out?
I'm tuning out. I didn't even watch the full thing.
Swanson, are you tuning in or tuning out?
Yes, Watson.
I'm gonna give it a tune in. I kind of liked it. It made me intrigued enough to watch another episode.
Yeah, I'm going to defer to Swanson on this one. I did not actually dislike the first episode. I think I was just tricked by the marketing calling it a dark comedy.
Yeah, I think this will be the last
trick.
time that I reveal whether or not something is a comedy based off the premise. But I will maintain that the next episode is funnier.
Yeah, I do think that the first episode has too much sad boy energy, and I don't like those vibes. I want a show that makes me feel like, makes me smile and laugh, or conversely, makes me so utterly devastated that I feel better later. Not like this, where it's just like, oh, it's kind of bleak.
Right. Yeah, and the way I had heard about this show is that it manages to do both, which maybe that's why I'm still curious about it, to see if it gets to that point.
Interesting.
So, looks like that's a tune in on Beef. And, hey, listen, if you've got beef with us, why? Why would you do that? Why would you have... What's wrong? What did we do?
I understand.
Can I apologize?
Perfectly. No.
But if your beef mainly is with the fact that you have, like, a show that you would like us to watch, or perhaps a movie, well...
I refuse to watch it.
I've got a solution for you. All you gotta do is go over to buymeacoffee.com/TVTuners. A single coffee gives you a single episode that you get to program for us to watch.
Well, don't say program.
In that case, yeah, I would definitely watch. Yeah. That would resolve the conflict entirely, honestly.
Yeah, you'd be like, this is sufficient. This is acceptable. But
like, pretty much any grievance I might have with somebody will be resolved by $20.
Exciting. But
for $40, Keel will be your friend.
Yes.
That's true. Yeah, he will be legally obligated to talk to you for at least once a day. He'll say he's
$100, and I'll be subservient towards you.
Yeah, he'll talk to you numerous times a day.
I'll pretty much do whatever you say.
Yeah. He'll suck.
Well, we're going to negotiate a little bit more.
Not in that order.
Yeah, maybe for 200.
Maybe. We'll see. Like, I'll see how I feel after I get the money.
You get one suck session. Anyway, that's it for this week's episode of the show, of course. We'll be back next week with more TV goodness. Till then, keep watching. Bye. It's Trover.
I found him.
Hey folks, it's time for the TV Tuner's Fact for the Week. Did you know that Stairmaster has never experienced road rage? He's extremely calm on the road.
I've experienced countless fear, though.
My opinion remains, you ignorant fool.